So now let's go over, or let's do a few practice on the calculator, finding trig functions. So we're going to find the value of each ratio or the measure of each angle. So the first one, sine of 15. Now this is an angle measure, so let me just do that. These are angle measures. So sine of 15 equals, and that's what we're looking for, right? So you go on your calculator, just punch in sine of 15. And then because you're writing 15 right after you punch sine, the calculator knows that 15 is the angle measure. So then the answer becomes 0.2588. And then the next one, it would be tangent of 72, and that becomes 3.0777. Okay, so I'm just rounding it to 4 decimal places. Write that over. 3.0777. Now here, we don't have the angle measure. The angle measure is E. That's what we want to find. We want the angle measure. So when we punch it in, we want the calculator to give us the angle measure. But if you punch in tangent of 0.9201, the calculator will think that this is the angle measure, which is not true, right? This is not the angle measure. E is the angle measure, so you tell the calculator, I'm going to give you the answer, and I want you to give me the angle measure. So inverse tangents, remember second and then tangent, 0.9201 equals, and then so the calculator knows that you want the angle measure, and that is 42.6 degrees. Okay. Same thing here. We don't have the angle measure. We want the angle measure. That's what we're looking for. So when you punch it in, you can't punch in cosine of that number, cosine of this number, because then the calculator, now let's just try it. Okay? So just try, clear your screen, and then just punch in cosine 0.2821. Now it's going to give you 0.999987 and so on. So that rounds to 1. Now, this number is not the angle measure because the calculator, because you punched in cosine of this number, the calculator would assume that this is the angle measure. And so it's going to give you the answer if this were to be the angle measure. But what we have to do is tell the calculator that that number is not the angle measure. Okay, don't forget to do inverse cosine, and then so the calculator will give you the angle measure. 73.6 degrees. So just be very, very careful with that. Okay, if you have a number here, that would be the angle measure. If you have a variable there, then you're doing the opposite. You're looking for the angle measure. Okay, so make sure you punch in inverse trig functions.